Alright, we are here on Tuesday morning. As you see the plants, this is the one that was really droopy and dry. We're doing better already. So the plant that was already doing good is really looking nice. We're gonna spread these out a little bit today, and we got a little bit of time. One thing too is when we increase the water, now you see we're full on the tray. So I reduced the morning one back down to 4 minutes, and we're gonna keep the noon one going for 3 minutes, just so we're 4 and 3. See if we can maybe get this a little, not as much, but still in the tray. That way we can know that we're at least moving some fresher solution through the medium. She's looking really nice. We're gonna be spreading this out. We're gonna try to move a lot. See, we got a lot of growth to the center, and that's on purpose. We're trying to bring it this way. We're trying to do as much this way as we can, but not too much to really clusterfuck ourselves. But if we can bring a little bit more this way, a little bit more this way, we can fill it the middle, because this weekend I want to flip this. The reservoir, we might, if I got the time, I might add another 10 gallons just to make sure we can make it to Sunday, because after today I'm on until Sunday. And I prefer not to have to come back here in the evening to fill up the reservoir. So it's a good start to this update, looking good. We did check those Tallyman banana punch crosses. We still don't have anything popping up yet. It's only been a couple days, so we'll expect to see that within the next couple days. Let's spread this out and I'll bring you back. Alright, now that we did a little bit of a spread out, kind of starting to meet in the middle a little better. We're not as puffed up either, but we're gonna keep pushing this way. This weekend we are flipping on Sunday. We still got to back the trays. I'm gonna back a little bit of that dirt from when we brought the plants in. When I was springing this one down, I always end up doing this. We snapped our top. So what I ended up doing is I put a cable tie to keep the stock together, and then we just put a little tape around it. I'd say that I would say two of all out of the 3 runs that come in here, at least one side ends up getting snapped because I pull it so hard sometimes. But easy enough, just a little bit of tape and a little support if you need it, and you're good to go. Your plant will be totally fine. Just make sure you cover it up if you do. So we're going to leave you here for today. I'm just gonna do those couple extra little things. We took off some leaves so I can at least get down to it, because this was totally covered. But because I had to get in there and get our surgery done. So we are gonna add 10 gallons to the reservoir just to make sure that we can make it till Sunday when I get in here. And I will see you guys in here on the weekend. Most likely we're gonna check on those Tallyman banana punch crosses. Those will be popping up before we come back here, so we're gonna see those. We are here on Wednesday evening, actually. Just to bring it in here and show you. We have one up, and we have a second one about to emerge. Nothing yet on the third one, but we're good because we only wanted 2 anyway, so I'm pretty happy with this. We're gonna see how this progresses over the next few days, and we will maybe bring you guys back here on Friday. We'll see how much. See if we get all 3 by then. Alright, we are here on Friday, showing you, and we got all 3 of our sprouts up. We are gonna only keep 2 of these. One of them we will give to the guy who gave me the seeds, because he's gonna grow one as well, so that is kind of cool. And we're gonna keep 2 of the best. One thing that we will do today, we're gonna keep the dome on, but we're gonna open them up, probably half on either side, and then we go full tomorrow, and then take it off completely. We are going to turn up our power a little bit, so here, and then we're just gonna keep it covered. So this is to prevent the stretching. We don't want that extra stretching that could occur if there's not enough light. Keep it goes half and half, and then we'll do it again tomorrow, and then we'll take it off completely. Alright, I'll bring you guys back here once our domes are off. We'll probably have a dehumidifier in here, or not dehumidifier, but a humidifier in here running, just keeping this proper until we transplant these up to the 1 gallons over at the it would be the grow room, complete grow room now, because it would have both veg and flower, and we will be running those over there. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys maybe on Saturday or Sunday over there. Alright, we are here on Sunday checking on those LemonadoZ. We reduced the watering in the morning because we were getting close to flooding on this one side, but now we are back to dry again, and you can tell in the plants too. So we upped the second feed to 4 minutes, so it's 4 minutes, 4 minutes. The other thing that's going to happen is, because of the size of these plants today, we are going to stretch these out, and we are flipping today. Once we spread these out, you'll see just how much extra plant there is. We're going to spread them, and then we're going to come in and we're going to do a good bottoming on each one of these plants. That one's already not so bad on the bottom, but this one right here has a lot going on. So we're going to do our spread, we're going to see what we're looking like, and then we're going to take out a fair bit of this right before we flip. We don't need any of this extra shit at the bottom. We were only doing it to keep the humidity levels up, but now that we're going to 12 hours of darkness instead of 6, our humidity is going to be proper. We're going to start spreading all the way out, and we'll bring it back. Now we got a really nice spread on, really full tent. Nice and even level too. We're gonna come underneath and we're gonna do a nice little cleanup of a lot of these lowers that don't need to be part of the plant. I'm pretty sure that once we take off a lot of the lowers over there, that plant's not gonna be drinking as heavily for the first bit at least. And we're gonna be on track because there's just a ton under here. I'll bring it back. We'll show you like this, and then I'll bring it back. It's kind of hard to film underneath the tent. We're underneath the canopy. I'm under there, so here's this, and I'll bring it right back. All right, so we've cleaned that up. Same with the other side. Nice and even on both sides of the canopy now. Decent amount of leaf came off. So we are going to now flip this lady by switching our timer to, I'm gonna do 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right now it's 6 a.m. to midnight. We're gonna do that switch right now. We're gonna fill up our reservoir. Again, we're gonna be using the 10-30-20. Now that we're on to flower, that's kind of what I added in on Tuesday when I got in here. So we will see you here on Friday. So about 5 days from now, we'll see what she looks like. But we're gonna get this cleaned up. We're gonna do a little vacuum in there, get it all the leaf up, keep it nice and clean. And we're gonna hit this with optic foliar. So now that we flipped it, we'll hit it. We'll still use our optic foliar overgrow for the first 2 weeks of flower, and then we will subside from using that. Normally, once the stigma or the pistil hairs start to appear, we that's when we kind of stop using that and just let her go from there. So next week, at the end of week 1 of flower, depending on how much growth we have, we'll probably put in that second trellis. This one is not a scrog layer. It's to support our buds as we grow up and kind of spread them out to maximize our the footprint of our canopy. We're gonna leave the light the same way this time. No, we'll turn it up a little bit. Actually, no, we won't. We will leave it the same way we are now. And next Friday, so in 5 days, we'll bring in our light meter and we will adjust our light at that point. But for right now, I think we're good. We have that extra minute of feed that's gonna hit today, actually at noon. So we need to get our reservoir all filled up and balanced out within the next hour and 15 minutes, which shouldn't take too long. So I'm gonna get those all clean. We'll take some pictures and we'll see you guys in a week. We will check on those Gastown crosses. Those are doing well. Next weekend, those will be over here too in the veg tent. We'll be all set up and ready to go. We already brought the cocoa over, so we'll do our transplant here. And so we got the cocoa, we got our Wollammo, the Lawsonite product. We got everything here now, so we're gonna do that here. We're here on the Friday. Our plants are looking very nice. I'm very happy with where we are now. We're on day 5 of flower today. Super healthy. No bugs on the sticky. We did a good cleanup when we were in here last. We're not gonna really touch it in this week. We're just gonna kind of let these grow as they progress into flower here. One thing we will do today though, pretty much the only thing we're gonna do today, is we're gonna put that second trellis net across our bars. We just don't attach to the front one so we can pull it off and be able to work on our plant later on. If we attach to this, it's much harder to work across the bar. So we got really a lot of growth. I'm really happy with how this is looking. And you can see how we're starting to get out. Now that next trellis net, when it's set up, it's going to be able to spread these colas even more. So when these start growing upwards, we're going to be able to pull the last little bit to the far side of that trellis and everywhere around here. So on this side, we're going to pull everything we can on the trellis nets to the corners, so we have a nice full canopy. This is going to be a full canopy. They got nice and big. We're nice and healthy. Seeing the plants here. We are going to hit it with a little optic foliar today. I'm going to have to mix some up because we ran out last time. And after we set up the trellis net now, next week when we come in here, we'll see if we have to do any leafing at that point to try to open it up a little bit. We're going to try to keep the leafing to day 7. It will actually be, I think, day 18 when we do it this time, the way that my schedule lines up. We're going to be in here right at day 18 to do some leafing. But we're looking good. No mildew marks even if we go down inside. So we know when we did that clean, so we did like a 30%. I went really heavy with the bleach. If you guys if you recall when I did it, we did almost a 30%. I did the entire tent. We actually I threw out the drain mat because there's that space in between and I didn't want to have to, and it has a fabric on the far side, so I just got rid of it. You could try to figure out ways to clean it. I bet you if I were to put it in the middle of the room, when we cooked this room, it would have been better. And that's the other thing we did. We cooked the room to 110, it was 115 to 120 Fahrenheit in here. And we did it for 6 hours. This room was really, we got what we needed done. Because if we didn't, we would see it by now. We would be in here long enough that it would start appearing. So we rocked it. So if anybody's having problems with PM and you had a bad run, make sure you kind of follow some of those steps, and then make sure your stuff's nice and clean so your next run you'll have no issues. All right, we'll get that trellis all set up and I'll bring it back. All right, from this point, we're just gonna leave the trellis on. We're gonna let our plant grow into it over the next few weeks. And on day 18, I believe we're gonna come in on to do it. We're gonna do a full leaf strip. We're gonna open it up, get it ready for the light, get it ready for everything, and we're going to start laying our budstead in. For right now, we're looking really good. We're real tight on this. Really tight on this. You can see how it like vibrates. And as our colas grow, we're gonna make sure that we maximize the amount of spaces that we have in this layer. And to maximize what we can get on the 2 plants in this tent. So, I will bring you guys back here most likely next weekend, because during the week when I come in here to check on the reservoir and on the trays and all that, our plant is in the dark because I get here really early before work. So the other thing that I'm going to mention is we're going to be mixing up our optic foliar, which uses transport, and we use watts, we'll use the rev, and we will also mix in the helium and the portal as well. So we're going to put all 3 into the mix today. For our feeds today, we're just going to use our regular the bloom food along with the magnesium sulfate. We may stay somewhat close to this formula, but just for less feed, because we don't have to add that much. But we're gonna stay similar to this. And then after this week's, when the reservoir is done, we're gonna drop out the extra cal nitrate. It's gonna go, this plant's gonna be focused on strictly, they're gonna be slowing down on the biomass that they're growing, as in biomass leaves and stems, not the buds. That biomass comes on after everything kind of stops stretching, and we don't really need that extra calcium. There is still calcium in our formula. We're gonna keep the magnesium sulfate going. When we drop the cal nitrate, we're gonna increase our monopotassium phosphate. We're gonna add a little bit into our blend just to keep it going for a bit, and we're gonna run that and see how she does. So we will we'll see you then. The mixing is 7.5 milliliters of transport, 7.5 milliliters of watt, 7.5 milliliters of rev per liter, and then we're on 10 and 10, so 10 helium and 10 milliliters of portal as well. So all of those will go into the same spray, and that's what I spray on my plants. Alright, we're here Sunday evening. I know we mentioned we wanted to move these over this weekend, but I think we're going to give them another week before bringing them over to do the transplant. I think it's a little too early to do that transplant on them up to the 1 gallon vegetating pots. But so next Sunday we will have them over there, but we'll come in another time throughout the week and we'll kind of see the progress. So far as it started, we are probably looking at these 2 as well. Hasn't changed from that point, but I'll bring you guys maybe on Wednesday. We'll take a peek at these. We are here Sunday on day 14 of flower. We're looking good in this tent. Really full. There's definitely a lot going on here. Now, still thinking about the doing the underlighting, so we're not going to take off any of the lowers right now, and we may take out a little bit of the upper leaves today just to get some of the light further down the canopy for the next few days, because on Friday, well, 5 days time, we're gonna come in here and we're going to strip out these leaves. We're really gonna be doing a big strip out on this plant. So we may do a little bit of one today just on some of these uppers, so we can get a little bit more down into the canopy. But for the most part, next Friday we're doing a big strip, and by then we will also have our mind made up of what we're gonna do with the underlighting for this run or not. We're looking nice and healthy in here. Even inside like this canopy, we're not seeing any problems. Which means that we definitely overcame the mildew issue that we had on the last run, and we cleaned up our tent. Just cleaned up our tent enough to make it good for the next. Another thing we're doing here today too, and this is another reason why we're not going to do too much on the leaving, is we also have our Tallyman banana punch crosses. They're here. We're going to transplant those up today. These are the two that we're going to keep. We kind of just supported the stems for the transfer over here. When I bought them out and I put them in the bag, they started to want to lean a little bit, so we just wanted to make sure that they were staying up and happy. We're going to do our cocoa with the Wollastonite, the Wollammo back here. We're going to mix all that up, and we got our pots underneath the table. We also have a humidifier and our ink bird that we're going to set up in the tent. So we're going to have the humidity running. We're also going to run it on auto. We're not going to have it on all the time. We're going to try this on auto for a little bit to see if we can keep the humidity in this tent. Because right now on off, it's at 74, just because nothing's going on in it. But once we get plants in there, light in there, and we're gonna get this onto auto, and we're gonna have it set to maybe a 65 or a 68 to turn on at. Can't remember. Let's see where we already set it. 78 is our high, and then 60 is gonna be our low. And that's going to be for veg. We may lower that 78 down, maybe a 75. We don't want to go too high, but I'm also doing it so it doesn't kick on and kick the humidity out of the tent before necessary. All right. So let's take out some leaves here first, and I'll bring you back. All right, so we've gone in here, we've taken out some of these upper leaves. You can see we have a little pile. We're not doing our strip today, but we're just doing a little bit of a maintenance on the canopy. The strip's gonna happen in about 5 days. That's when we take everything out. I'm just doing this now so we can get some more light down into this canopy, so some of these inner bud sites that are closer to the top can get a little more and do a little more stretch and not be covered. Particularly this side is why I was doing it, because this one, as you saw before we did this strip, was quite packed with leaves. Now we get a little bit more light into this canopy so we can grow over the next 5 days before we hack it hard. At that point, there won't be much in the way of leaves. They all grow back. We will not be spraying any more optic foliar on this plant. I normally do sometimes go until week 2, but we already have great bud development and a lot of stigma being pushed out everywhere. So we're not going to spray. The last spray would have been the last one we just did now. Just to be careful on the plants. So you see there's still lots of meat in there that we have to start dealing with on both sides, but we're gonna wait until next weekend. It's also gonna be the only thing we're doing on next Friday, is coming in here and doing the leafing. It's a big job. It's kind of nice to do it by itself. We got some other transplants to do that we're gonna catch you guys over on this tent for. And I'm also going to, tomorrow on my day off, I'm going to go down to the hydro store and we're gonna start figuring out the underlighting kit. And because we could just move our drippers more to the center, like this. And then we would just run the lights on either side of the plants. Again, those lights will go into the 5x10 when we get that set up in September. But that's going to be a big addition to help get some weight. Another thing that's going to happen this year, I know I've said it a few times, is CO2. I've been looking into all the pieces for that. So, oh man. CO2 will probably not be on this run, like I mentioned before, but it's going to be on these guys when these guys get bigger. Alright, I'll bring you guys back here a little later. Actually, in the next episode, today's the last day of this episode. We'll catch you guys in this tent on the next one, but we have some work ahead of us. We got some transplants to do, so let's get ready and start doing that. So, for the transplants, one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to take just our container. We're going in a 1 gallon pot, so we're gonna put in 4 liters of cocoa. We're probably just gonna do the full 2 gallons at once, so we have a 5 gallon pail. That being said, we're gonna add 50 grams of the Wollammo per gallon, so we're gonna add 100 grams of Wollammo to the bucket as well. Mix all that up. We're gonna get our air pot set up. If you guys remember from past videos, you just put the base in and then you roll the base into it to make a pot. So when you come back, you'll see them made, and then you just twist in the sides. So I'm gonna get all this, get my medium all mixed up with the Wollammo inside of it, and the pot's made, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so from this point, we have our 2 ladies here. We're just gonna remove the pot. We have a nice open spot for our beneficial bacteria and fungus. We're gonna add that to the holes on both of them, and then do our transplants. Alright, now that our transplant is done, we're gonna leave the those supports on maybe for a week, and we're gonna take them off. We have a fan on blowing wind around. That's gonna strengthen up those stems. So next week when we come in here, we should be good to take those off, and our plants will be able to hold themselves up. Again, we only did it just for the moving them to location. They were in a bag on the floor of my car, so I just didn't want them falling over. We have our we cleaned humidifier totally out. We bleached it. It's looking super fresh now, all the way through. It's just a little yellow because it's an old one. It's been in a grow tent its entire life. We are going to close up our oh yeah, this fan on, but it's facing the back, so it's not directly on our plants, so we can get that a little bit of a dance, but not too aggressive. Might even move it a little bit more, just so we can get this one to dance a little more and that one a little less. What then we're gonna do, we're gonna come over and we're gonna set us to auto mode. I'm gonna bring that down to maybe 76. And that's where our meters are set. So we're gonna close this up for today. Actually, no, we're not. We're gonna come in, we're gonna hit this with veg food. Yeah, it'd be a smart idea to do that. We'll hit this with some veg food. And then we're gonna close it up, and we'll bring you guys back here in the next episode when we follow these for their little bit of veg, and then we come over and we do our defoliation, and we go into mid-flower on the LemonadoZ. All right, so that is the transplant. That is the beginning of flower. This update is now complete, and I will see you on the next one.